So I've been single a long time as I've been on my awakening journey after a big life event a few years ago. But I'm now ready to meet someone, but old triggers of past sexual trauma keep coming up. And I'm guessing that's the mind trying to keep me safe. How do I let go of these old stories and trust myself to attract a good, loving partner?
I hear you, and I feel like that it might be the mind trying to keep you safe, but I'm also feeling like it's your body trying to tell you to release and to let go. So it's I would say, if we want to talk about it from the mind perspective, it's something like deeply subconscious, and I think that's where you were headed with that comment. Um, and when it's so subconscious, it's trapped within the body, and so you're in a place where you have this recognition now, and you've probably had this recognition for a while. And so it feels like what needs to happen is for you to tune in to really bringing in someone into your life that would feel safe. And it doesn't have to be a romantic partner, but it probably would be really helpful for it to be a male, someone who has masculine energy, someone who might trigger that response of fear and that response of having trauma, and letting them know upfront, hey, I'm actually experiencing this trauma that I feel like is really from a childhood or from an early sexual encounter, and ask them if they're going to be willing to hold the space for you, like no matter what happens, and hold the space for you romantically, not just. Let me clarify what I'm trying to say here, because you could go and hire a professional cuddler, someone who's not going to have any sexual energy exchange with you. And that would probably help a lot, just with the touch, and to feel into your body and to not try to escape out of your body because of the trauma response. But I actually think that I feel like you'd be ready to move into something where if you found someone that was trusted, someone who was in a similar consciousness as you, and you said, hey, would you be willing to exchange energy with me, touch me physically? And also, very specifically, could we focus on second chakra sexual energy? Not because and not with the intention that you're going to have sex, but that you're actually connecting your body to their body, and that you're feeling the safety of what that feels like to be in connection energetically with someone in your second and even your third. So if you can find a friend in your spiritual community that you know that you would trust, and maybe it's someone that you don't know super well, but you just get a vibe about them. You're like, wow, I just feel like I would trust them. And ask them, say, hey, would you be willing to do an exercise with me? Can we feel into our chakras, and can we lay next to each other, and can we touch each other? And when you touch me, if I have a trauma response, will you be willing to just hold the space for me and not have that intense reaction for me? I think that is something that would really help you to feel it. And I will also say, like upfront, say, if it feels right for both of us, and if at any point it doesn't feel right for both of us, we can say, no, stop. This is not right. But I think really to communicate it, what it is, like get yourself to articulate, what is it that I don't feel good about when you touched me there, or when I allowed myself to open a little bit more here in my second and third chakra, I felt X, Y, and Z. Because that's the point, really, is to get to the feeling part of it. And to, I think, also have someone hear you and have someone else feel what it is that you're feeling, so that you can articulate it and then together agree to let it go. But what I was going to say is, perhaps asking them, like, would you be willing to do this with me multiple times? So maybe I'm just making it up, but maybe it's, could we do this, Saturday mornings at 8:00 for the next 4 Saturdays, just so you have something to look forward to. Because I think also when we open ourselves so vulnerably like that with someone, then we want more of that. And when that person's away, then it can create, we don't want to create an unhealthy attachment, but we want to create a safe attachment, not even attachment, but a safe connection where we can do it again and do it again and go deeper, and then just see, how that feels. And then maybe it's finding another partner and saying, hey, would you be willing to, go do coffee and tea or whatever, and then just come back and just have, or maybe you go to the park, right? It doesn't have to be in your own home if that doesn't feel right. But yeah, I think opening up the idea of second chakra sexual energy to a totally different time-space reality is what would also be helpful, because we put so much, and I'm not necessarily saying this is you, but we put so much energy on sexual energy, when if we think about it from a second chakra energy, it's like the creative center of who we are, and feeling into that might help take away some of the trauma about where sexual energy has to lead to, or should lead to, or might lead to. Because I think there's a big pressure in that as well, when people start to feel like, oh, what's going to happen next? Like, are you going to want to take my clothes off? Are you going to want to, be inside of me, and all of those things? So just sort of get all of that into a different space, but be very sexual, and feel yourself have a physical response, a sexual physical response to someone, knowing that you're not going to act on it, at least not in that session. And who knows, maybe that person turns into a relationship. I think the more we can practice touching and eye contact and sharing energy, the more comfortable we get, and the more we experience within our own bodies. And of course, to your point, like you're monitoring the mind, right? We're often in the mind. And so I think the scary part sometimes too is to be in the body and to allow ourselves to feel excited. Like, what if I do feel excited? And just releasing all of those ideas of that being bad, or that not, or that leading to something. Is that helpful? Does that feel like it's in the vein? Yeah. Okay, great. Each week, I am so excited that you're here with me. I love having you on live. I also love having you on replay, and I would love to know what your state of the heart is, because here on the show, we get to the heart of the matter. So if you go to bethbell.me, you'll be able to fill out the state of the heart assessment. You'll get some great tips and tools and the following emails, and there's a plethora of resources on the website. There's the Awakening and Healing Handbook, lots of tips, tools, techniques, and modalities that can help you on your awakening journey. Many other handbooks, like the herpes handbook. I know a lot of people get, what are you talking about herpes? But it's also about the viruses of the mind, and whether you know someone that's in this situation or not, chances are you will have encountered viruses of the mind that we all need to let go of. So you can always schedule a one-on-one session with me as well on the website, bethbell.me. I'm wishing you bliss and love until we meet again next week at 11:11 on Sundays. Namaste.